Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest. We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it? He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
What's going on, people? Peace and blessings. Glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Sunday. I thank y'all for hanging out with us all day yesterday. We had an entire event, man, from the morning to the evening. We're just on it. And I want to say thank you to everybody who participated in the conversations, for the likes, for the shares, for the repost, for the engagement in the comment section, for the view. Don't matter where you were at that present moment. That was history. That was time that can be given back. Shout out to my poets, my writers, my content creators. Salutes to all the new subs. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm loading up. Here's a brief summary. A long story short, an innocent black man lost his life because, well, our judicial system failed him, as it has many of us. So we got to talk about it. Why do we have to talk about it? Because it's happening too often. Because there's too many people getting away with injustices against innocent men and women who have done nothing to deserve to be treated the way that they've been treated, while the real and true criminals walk away scot-free. So, we're going to address it. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, man? How's it going? It is Sunday. We came off of a horrific story last night. It's crazy to say, but that thing is still trending, and here we are. We got another one today, and you asked a question last night, and I think that's gonna tie into what you about to talk about today. So once again, it's on.
Right. Let me do this. I want to upload this real quick. Instead of pulling up the whole website and all that, I went on ahead and clipped it real quick. Hopefully the volume is good. Basically what happened is a Caucasian woman, a former newspaper reporter, she was stabbed to death. And they pinned it on a black man. They didn't have evidence. Their witnesses weren't reliable. The evidence wasn't reliable. They didn't do exactly what was necessary to have a fair trial. They railroaded him, in my honest opinion. Everyone who tried to stop this execution got met with every bit of force that you could think of. They did not want to let this go. Ultimately, they executed him. I don't hear nobody talking about it. It's been a couple years. And when it came to my screen, I felt like it was necessary. So that's where I'm at. That's the quick summary of it. Let me ask you a question, because I'm gonna upload this real quick, but I want to know, how do you feel about our justice system, man? Overall, in general.
Well, I was about to ask a question about that. Now, you just said that they went along and executed that guy. So with that being said, what's the penalty for the justice system when you get it wrong? I mean, I know the system is intact there, to bring justice to people and correct the wrongdoings of others, but what happened when they are wrong?
Yes, up on the screen real quick. Go ahead, finish your thought, bro.
I was saying, what happened when the system get it wrong? It seemed like the goalposts do move. It seemed like nobody's held accountable when something like this takes place. And like you just mentioned, nobody's taking this serious, and that's not cool. So the way this look, it ties into your question again about what you said yesterday. So you can take it from there, but that's all I got right now.
So for everybody who's watching right now, I did a narration, right? The story is way more extensive than this. If you want to check out the actual case yourself, you can. I'll leave it in the description box once the stream is up and all that stuff. This is just my commentary from what I read. Hold on.
Williams, whose murder conviction was questioned by a prosecutor, died by lethal injection Tuesday evening in Missouri after the U.S. Supreme Court denied a stay. The 55-year-old was put to death around 6 p.m. CT at the state prison in Bon Tier. Williams' attorneys had filed a flurry of appeal efforts based on what they described as new evidence, including alleged bias in jury selection and contamination of the murder weapon prior to trial. The victim's family had asked the inmate be spared death. The U.S. Supreme Court action came a day after Missouri's Supreme Court and governor refused to grant a stay of execution. The High Court offered no explanation for its decision, which is common for cases on its emergency docket. There were no noted dissents in two of Williams' appeals, and a third justices, Sonia Sotomayor, Alina Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson, said they would have granted the request to pause the execution. Williams was convicted in 2001 of killing Felicia Gale, a former newspaper reporter found stabbed to death in her home in 1998. We hope this gives finality to a case that has languished for decades, re-victimizing Miss Gale's family for decades, Governor Mike Parsons said in a statement read by Trevor Foley, director of Missouri's Department of Corrections. No jury or judge has ever found Williams' innocence claims to be credible. 2 decades of judicial proceedings and more than 15 judicial hearings upheld his guilty conviction. Thus, the order of execution has been carried out. In a statement after the execution, one of Williams' attorneys, Larry Kump, said his client maintained his innocence to the end. While he would readily admit to the wrongs he had done throughout his life, he never wavered in asserting his innocence of the crime for which he was put to death tonight, Kump said. Although we are devastated and in disbelief over what the state has done to an innocent man, we are comforted that he left this world in peace.
And that's pretty much, that's the shorter version of it. It goes as far as them describing all of the evidence that was ignored. It goes as far as talking about how much of this evidence was never admitted into the court. It talks about how they pretty much dismissed damn near everything that the people helping Mr. Williams presented. They didn't give 2 shits. They said basically, we need somebody to take the fall for this. And they did just that. Now, I don't know about you, but if this doesn't bother you, I don't know where your heart or your soul is. How many times have we seen stories like this? We talk about black and white, Black Lives Matter. We talk about union. We talk about coming together and all this and all that. But when it comes down to it, that man did not only did he not have a fair shot, but they gave him the lethal injection. a Caucasian woman lost her life either they know who really did it, because based on the evidence that was found, it was proven scientifically that his DNA was nowhere near the knife that was left lodged in her neck. His DNA was nowhere near her body at all. So what happened here? Why was this forgotten? Why isn't anyone speaking about all of these injustices that continuously happen? If you was in prison right now for something you ain't do, how much faith do you have that you're going to be exonerated for your crime or your alleged crime, bro? Let's switch roles. Let's say you are him. You're in jail for killing a white woman. You know you ain't do it. How would you feel being in that position? They sentence you to death, bro. 24 of your years are behind bars. Who's coming to help you?
Well, you got 24 years. 24 years to figure it out. And I think that's pretty much what that man was dealing with in his whole sentence that he was serving out for being innocent. It's terrible, man. Now when you look at that crime though, when you paint the crime, it's the real spill. Now that woman that got stabbed in her neck, she was white. And that changes the ball game. We just went over the situation last night when I mentioned if that manager was white, she would have carried her actions out. You said she wouldn't, and I agree with you. I don't believe she would have either. I don't believe she would have stabbed that manager if she was white. That's what brings me to this. That's what make that case right there serious, that he's an innocent man, but the crime is serious as hell. And like you said, they need somebody to take this fall. And they chose him to do it. Now you got 24 years, you behind the bars 24 years, and you couldn't get that done in 24 years. It's over. That's too damn long to not figure that out, that I'm innocent. And what other evidence that could you possibly present to free you? I mean, did he have a good lawyer? Did he have some activists, or was it some unity going on to try to find anything that they can find, get him a retrial, keep retrialing him? Like, he needed more support in 24 years to not suffer the hands of what they accused him of doing, and it didn't play out that way. So yeah, and if I was in that man's shoes, of course I'm gonna look at it the way we just broke that down. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair. But the system ain't fair. When you look at the system set it up that way. So that's what I'm saying. What happens to the people that got it wrong? Now, if you clearly got it wrong, what's the punishment for that? Or do we keep moving the goalposts when it's time to be accountable on their part? It's okay to try to find an innocent man and hold him accountable for a crime that he was accused that he didn't commit. That was okay to find him, but it's not okay to come out and say we took away an innocent man. We made a mistake. Who's coming out to say that? You see what I'm saying? So once again, stuff definitely should have went different. Stuff could be handled different. But who's gonna come out and admit to all of this stuff, this false stuff? And he in a position like that, he about to be executed. That man hopeless at that point. I'm pretty sure he tried numerous of times. You say 24 years, so I'm pretty sure he tried numerous of times to get the proper evidence to get him freed, and they wouldn't let that man out because that woman died. That's why. It wasn't the fact that she got stabbed. That woman died. She got killed. And old saying go, a life for a life. She gone, and now somebody else got to be gone. So I think that's what this situation comes down to.
Two things that bother me about this: one, an innocent black person is no longer here. Two, this woman is no longer here. I ain't racist. I ain't got shit against any color. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Lock all the criminals up. Anybody who's out here on some bullshit, you can put them all behind bars. That's how I feel about it. I don't stray from being equal with justice. So that bothers me because a man that was clearly innocent was set up to take the fall for someone. Think about that. Forensic evidence proved that he had nothing to do with this. Forensic evidence. And you still ignored it. How do you ignore forensic evidence? I'm not a lawyer. I don't understand those technicalities and loopholes, if there are any, to provide with this. How do you dismiss forensic evidence that says 99.9999% he has nothing to do with this? Y'all are either covering up for someone, or you just say, I'm just going to allow a criminal or a murderer to remain free on this earth. That don't sit well with me. A flawed system. A murderer who's either dead now because they just got to walk away unscathed, and they died of old age. They got to have their family. They got to work, have a living. They snatched somebody away from their loved ones, and karma got to them afterlife. Or it's something else. it's one of them situations where it's like you got a person who stabbed a woman to death, walked away free, and not a single person here knows who it is. Because clearly it wasn't Mr. Williams. So what do we do with that? You're telling me that this government that is put in position to make sure that the citizens are protected, that laws are held to a specific standard, that people are held accountable for their actions. They can just wield their power as they see fit without being met with any type of recourse. You ask the question, what do we do when the system gets it wrong? What happens to the people who were irresponsible? I'm still trying to figure that one out. I am. There's one guy who got out. He was innocent. He's in a wheelchair now. He just got awarded a little over $100 million. He was in jail for like 30, 40 years or some shit like that. Does $100 million make up for all that time that you missed out on? You got stories where people are in jail right now fighting for freedom. They are on the chopping block, and they didn't do it. Somebody lied, or they were set up to take the fall. This should absolutely bother people. I don't know why it don't bother enough people. So again, I don't know. Something needs to be done. You telling me there's a murderer still walking amongst us? Your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, your aunts, your family. There's a killer still amongst us, and the government knows it. Somebody knows something, but we just supposed to be okay with it. But while another black man has fallen to the system, failed by the system, and then you wonder why people don't fuck with the police, why we don't have no respect for judges and prosecutors and lawyers and so on and so on.
That's it right there. Like you say, because we don't get a fair shake when it comes down to it. I'm not saying that we don't do anything wrong, because we do silly and stupid shit to get ourselves caught up in certain situations, but it still should change the straight down the middle verdict. You know what I'm saying? Making it a right or wrong type of thing, judgment. And I don't feel like we get a fair shake when it comes to getting it right or wrong. I think according to this story here, that your ass is guilty by the color of your skin. According to this story, the way this was presented, your ass don't get a fair shake because of how you look. You look guilty. And that's what they're saying. You fit the description. You look like you was somewhere in that vicinity, so your ass did that crime. And that's where the goalposts get moved. That's where you throw evidence and shit that people gathered out the window. You don't give a fuck. What you saying is, I'm gonna pin this on my man, and that's it. We couldn't find the person that did it, so we're gonna pin it on him because why? Because it's more believable. See, I can bring it up Bring it up again with the Carmelo. Same thing. It's more believable to do it the other way. And you say, why we not mad? Because we used to it. We've been mad for years, 200 or 300 years, all that time. So we've been mad about being accused about something that we didn't do and being framed, shit like that. That's been happening for hundreds of years. So, but when you put the shoe on the other foot, when you put that shoe on the other foot, a motherfucker don't want to walk around. Let's keep it real. It's easy to put your ass away. That's how they deal with you. They get rid of you. And all that fighting and then everything that's around that, him getting free, him being free from being innocent. Guess what? Because once you're in that system, guess what? They're pulling the strings. So all your little efforts and stuff you trying to get evidence and stuff, they making sure that stuff don't go through for you, which makes them the biggest crooks in America. So again, I'm gonna say it again. What's the punishment for that ass when they get it wrong? Because you clearly know what to do to an innocent person. So what's the punishment for y'all when y'all don't get it right? Because we don't know the punishment, and we should know. You see what I'm saying? We gotta have more crash out sessions or something to get this stuff straight. We gotta do some more protesters. We gotta call everybody in the church and pray. Like what's the next move? Because these situations have already happened, and most likely it's gonna happen again. If it come down to it, if it comes down to a life for a life, then this move gonna get done like that again.
They think we slow. We don't know what they're doing. We're not utilizing our tools properly to get them in a space to be held responsible. We're too divided. Extremely too divided. The fact that you can do something like this and continuously cover it up, it absolutely sickens me. The things that these people have been able to get away with for all of these generations is atrocious. My only concern and mission is to bring light to these fallacies, to the bullshit that they constantly throw in our face and tell us, wipe your nose and keep walking, do your job, clock in, clock out, go home, pay your taxes, don't say nothing, I don't want to hear it. The government is the biggest crooks, the biggest gangsters in the world. They worse than the cartel. They worse than Frank Lucas. They are the real bad guys. Straight up. What more can you say? Look who we got in the president's seat, the Oval Office, our governors, our mayors, our senators. We got a black mayor up this side of town. And, you know, he did a video, I did a reaction to it. He's basically saying We have had over 20, 30 black girls missing within a year or less. And nobody seemed to care about that shit. The folks that's in control of our cities, they don't like us, man. And I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about in general. These people don't like us, man. Also, to add on to what you said, yeah, we need more prayer. We need a lot of it. And we need more people doing it. The protesting, it's going to take more than protesting. I'm not talking about carrying assault rifles to their domicile and start shooting and airing out the place. I'm talking about everybody picking up a pen, going to an email, and flooding those offices with your frustrations, with your attitude, with your anger, with your rage, using your intellect to castrate all the laws and legislations that they continue to throw in our face and force us to accept them. I think not. In what world is it okay to execute an innocent person? I asked this before. I asked again. If a person on the street, a regular pedestrian, is considered a murderer, what's the difference between a pedestrian and someone holding a badge? How is one a murderer and the other one isn't?
Well, it's about the support, and it's about what you can prove. They got more people backing them when they lie than a pedestrian. If they lie, they can gang up on your ass and get it out you. But if they swell, they got a lot of more supporters to support they lie, and they come out off as the truth. Is what you can prove. People lie every day. But if you can prove, you know what I'm saying, and get behind people that you like, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna get over more. You see what I'm saying? They move the goalposts. Look at what happened the other day with last night we talked about. Oh, everything was followed real accordingly when that happened, didn't it? Was it any type of hold ups when that happened? That was open and closed, wasn't it? The crime was committed. The justice was immediate, and we know where Slim at now. You know what I'm saying? They in custody. What I'm saying is everything was executed by the book on that end. But then when you talk about my man that they injected, you know, we moving the goalposts, or um stuff is getting drawn out a little. It's not the same justice. So if we not having the same justice, then there's no way we can say equality and we equal, because that's two different jobs.
I'm really realizing, and I think I've considered this before, but it's pretty clear to me that depending on where you live, these folks bend and stretch the law how they see fit wherever you are. Because in some places, you can get away with certain shit. Other places, you can't. In some places, they don't give a shit about the crackheads and the drug addicts and the impoverished neighborhood. You know, in other areas, they make sure that that shit does not fly there. In Philadelphia right now, their fucking streets are flooded with trash. This shit is, I don't know if you've seen it, bro. That shit looks horrible. I've never seen that much trash. Have you ever been to a landfill or seen their streets look like they brought the landfill to the neighborhood and just dump shit everywhere? That shit looks horrible. They on strike out there. And I bring that up to say, like, depending on where you are, depends on how they decide to run shit. The former mayor of Chicago, she was a black woman. She was crooked as fuck. Like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of just over humans to a certain extent because this shit is foul, man. It's foul as fuck. I think they need to reopen. Can you even do that though? Can you reopen a case where you executed an innocent black person, an innocent man in general? Can you reopen a case?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I was watching a movie with a guy already got killed, and they was about to execute the man and all of that, and they finally found the case. They tried to bury the case. It was something similar to what you're talking about. I can't remember the name, but they ended up they found another case similar, and that both of these people were dead, and they put it together and got justice that way. My thing is, I'm gonna ask you this, because we're talking about the system and we're talking about how unfair it is. We're talking about injustice. If you was a officer of any time period, especially today, what type of officer would you be? Because we got the good, we got the bad, and we even got the ugly out here.
I can't take a job that I'm going to be impartial with. If I'm not going to do right by the people, I'm just not going to do the job at all. So I'm going to be loved by many. I'm going to be hated by many. You're going to call me a cracker lover. You're going to call me Uncle Tom. You're going to do this. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't want nothing on the street that makes the neighborhood look bad, that makes my complexion look bad. I don't care if you're white. I don't care about none of that. If you're a drug dealer, if you beating on women, if you beating on men and you're a woman, you shoplift, I don't give a shit about it. I'm probably going to be the most neutral officer there is. If you're a cop that be on some foul shit, I'm going to hold you accountable. I did a story like a month ago on the officer. You remember Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Jazz used to get thrown out the house?
Yep.
The woman was 70 years old. She was getting discharged from the precinct. It's like 8 officers One in particular kept on going back and forth with this old woman. So when they get to the door, he gave her the Jazzy Jeff. He tossed her ass out the precinct. He like throw her, but he like she flew. She broke her hip and all that shit. The officers were just looking at him like, they ain't say nothing, they ain't nothing. And she's suing them right now as we speak. So, I mean, nah, I'm good on that. I could never.
So you say you'll be the most neutral officer.
It's either that or I'm not doing the job.
And we've seen a lot of movies and film coming up about officers trying to do the job this way and that way and the third. But when it comes down to it, they're a big ass game, man, too. That's just the bottom line. You gotta be like all of them. You know what I'm saying? You be having a good cop teamed up with a bad cop. And most of the time it be the cop with the experience that try to pull the rookie into deep waters, you know what I'm saying? Let them know that this is the way our precinct is ran, and this is what we do. And you're gonna fall in line, and you're not gonna be, no super cop and all of that. We ain't doing all that. This city is infested with drugs and guns and crime everywhere. So we're gonna do what we can do, and you're gonna fall in line. So I say that to say, if you was to check one of these officers being neutral, they'll get rid of their own. It's a game. They're not gonna let you take down all these people. You see what I'm saying? If you're wearing a badge, you're supposed to stand for right. That's the reason why you wanted to do it. Most people say that anyway. They say, I got this on because I want to give it back. I want to make stuff right. I want to make it all better. Why the fuck would you wear that uniform if you know you ain't gonna be able to make a difference?
Well,
it's defeating your purpose.
Well, people wear the uniform because it's like an automatic green light. It gives you. It's like having all them fucking keys on your side. As a custodian, you can get into shit that nobody else can. Most people get into the positions that they get into so that they can get away with doing certain shit that everybody else can. They don't even have
and they'll be a part of the problem instead of the solution. But you say that, and then we go back and say, well, damn, why they don't respect the badge? We exposing it right now. That's why you want people around you when you go into these neighborhoods and you flash this badge and all this shit, and you pull people over and all that. You want the utmost respect. But look how you carrying on in these precincts and stuff like that amongst each other. You want people to just stop and listen to what y'all gotta say. But y'all don't even look out for y'all supposed to protect and serve the people. But y'all don't even do that. Y'all don't protect and serve us. It's always some low down bullshit with them. You see what I'm saying? So again, we got to keep rewinding. We got to keep rewinding the tape when it comes to this. When you come to the system, I believe it's a hindrance. There's a lot of hindrance going on. There's a lot of condoning with the officers' behavior. If one of them get out of line, everybody else back that officer, and he keep his badge. But your ass, they can all team up and put your ass away for 20 plus years, and ain't nobody gonna be able to help you. No lawyer gonna come in there. The judge is with it. The lawyer with all these people is together. The DA, everybody that you reaching out for help. I didn't see another movie, and it was the same way. Everybody was on the same page, and they got rid of that one. They got rid of that person, straight up innocent. Didn't even do the crime, just like you said. And her ass was put away for 20 plus years for something she didn't do. So that's the real game right there. Shaking my head.
There's a business in everything if you really look at it. You can find a way to hustle or make side hustles in any job description. If you're an officer, you can blackmail and get side work done on the street. You can get informants. You can sell without being seen selling. You can get into certain things without being identified. If you're a custodian, you can sell content from your place of business. You can have parties, and you can probably bring people into certain folds just off of you having the keys to certain shit that I think there's a market, and how can I word this? When you are working in certain areas, and you're trying to make an extra dollar, or you're trying to indulge in other practices while maintaining this facade of a lifestyle that you have with that badge or that uniform, people use it to their advantage. The uniform, to some people, is a gateway to other things. This black man lost his life, and I don't know what the motivation was behind it. Why did they pick him specifically? Of anyone they could have profiled, why him? I'm already so adamant about him being the sacrifice. What's the backstory with that woman? Who hated that woman so much? She was a news reporter, which means you're probably nosy. Your job is to report on things that you see as accurately as possible. So, what did that woman know? What kind of information did she have? It almost comes off as if she was assassinated. Somebody was sent to do the job. I'm just throwing out my own random thoughts because he didn't have no connections to her. So what would have motivated him to kill her? They stabbed her up. They left the knife in her neck.
But didn't you say it happened like 3 years prior to him getting caught?
She was killed in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
He went to prison in around 2002 and 2001.
So he was held in custody all that time?
Yeah.
And then he was convicted.
Right.
And they ain't give him no time served?
He did 24. So he was in there the entire time. So from the time they discovered her, they had already pinned everything on him. And something you had asked earlier, it's a team that goes around trying to help out people that they feel are innocent of certain crimes on death row and stuff. Can't remember the name. He had them help him. They stalled the execution once, but they couldn't do it again. They couldn't get that shit stopped at all. They were just adamant that they had who they had and they weren't going to let that shit go.
Mm.
So he had help.
Yeah, I believe he did. I mean, that was a long time to be held behind bars. The crazy part that I'm about to say is when he got his team together, his team recognized what was going on with the system. The team recognized what they were trying to do to him, and they kind of went hard for him to try to get him out of that predicament because they recognized what was going on at that time, what was being done to him. But we need. See, the thing about that is we need all of that. Period. We need a team for any situation, not just that situation. You see what I'm saying? We need to be able to go to our team in any type of situation, and I think that's going to change. That's going to change a lot of situations, and not just him being an innocent man, but getting everything that's wrong out here in society, getting it to be right. Because when you go up in them doors, when you go up against these people, man, it's real difficult, and it was real difficult for him to prove his innocence. And they made it as hard as they possibly can make it because somebody gotta, like you said, somebody gotta take the fall for what happened, man. And we just gotta be more cognitive, man, about our own mess, man. The stuff that we cause for ourselves, man. Where's the support then? Because it was a lot of support when with that situation, but we need support, period, on all situations. And it be certain situations that arrive that it's you looking around like, man, where's everybody at on this? Or where's everybody at on that? You don't feel the same support. You don't feel like people got your back on all levels. But when you flip the damn script, and they had it in their mind that they gonna get this joker, they gonna blackmail this nigga. They carried that out. It was a lot of unity to get that done. It wasn't just one person saying, "Look, I believe this man did it. I believe he's guilty." Nah, they all sat down, probably had a meeting about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And discussed it and said, yeah, you do this, I'll take it this way, and we'll try to make it seem like this, that, and the third. It was orchestrated and plotted out, bro. And they stuck to their guns. So my thing is, where the hell is that on the other end? Because we don't get type of thing. We don't get a chance to be in those situations to prevent this from happening. Nah, we separated. We try to do shit on our own. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to do a damn thing together. But when you get, like I said, when you get up in them situations like that, they did it all together though. Yeah, whether it's wrong, right, or whatever, they did it together. It was a collective takedown. Everybody stuck to their guns and got it done. I'm just saying we need unity on more than just situations like this. You got it.
What I would like to happen is a reopening of that case. I want to know who the real murderer was. I want to know why that woman lost her life the way that she did. I want to know what type of information she had and why they went out of their way to put somebody else in the line of fire. I would like to see more people actually care about these situations. And yeah, I just don't accept this. I can't eat that. I can't. Y'all got away with way too much doing this. And there's people in jail right now because you needed someone to step in and take the fall for somebody else. Robert Brown is in the building. What's going on, sir? Appreciate you for tapping in. Back on no repeat. We just talking about Mr. Williams, Marcellus Williams, innocent black man executed for the death of a Caucasian woman, former newspaper reporter. The evidence was flawed. They did everything in their power to make sure that this man was executed at the expense of covering up for someone else. I need to know. I need to know what happened here. And maybe I'll never have those answers. Sometimes you don't get justice on earth. Sometimes it happens afterwards. So for whoever was in on this and responsible for her death and for his, we might not see the results. They coming.
Yeah, the real judgment gonna take care of that, bro.
Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I don't. I'll let him OTC respond to that one. I don't watch wrestling no more for real. I don't watch WWE. I ain't been tapped in with that in like 3 years or more. So I couldn't tell you about any of that. And he would know more about that than me. But
well, I mean, it's a pay-per-view that's coming on tonight called Evolution 2. It's an all women's pay-per-view, and I remember when me and you was kind of, watching some of the beginnings of that when they couldn't even really get on camera to even perform moves and all that. So now they got their own. They got enough of them. They got their own show tonight. It's coming on in a minute. I am going to watch it. It's a lot of it's pretty much paying homage to all the women that paved the way to get to this point. And that's what the whole show gonna be about tonight. Basically, it's saying that if men can do it, then women should be able to do it too. So that's what we're gonna celebrate the wrestlers tonight. Shout out to the ninth. I'm gonna say to the ninth wonder of the world, China. You know what I'm saying? She was one of the biggest draws in the game. Yeah, Goldberg. Yeah, I see Goldberg did retire last night. He was his hometown in Atlanta. He had a pretty decent match, but I'm trying to see him versus Cena maybe one day. But I was trying to tell this gentleman right here, is it anybody that you think that should be celebrated on the Evolution pay-per-view tonight? Anybody that deserve their flowers?
Oh, did you just ask me a question, or are you referring to?
Yeah, I was asking you. I mean, anybody that you can remember. I mean, I know you say you don't watch no more, but is there anybody that you remember that used to do their thing that deserve to be mentioned on this card?
Well, he said it. China. That's for damn sure. China, Jacqueline, Jazz, Ivory. We're just talking strictly wrestling.
No, we're just talking women's wrestling.
Beth Phoenix.
There you go.
Undertaker's wife.
Michelle McCool.
Yeah, Jacqueline was hella dope. I don't know why the fuck they keep on bringing back the same women over and over again. Jacqueline would have been a nice person to have a return match with. I don't know why people think Lita and Trish Stratus are the only two. Especially you bring Nikki Bella back over fucking Jacqueline. That's crazy to me. I would rather see Jacqueline than fucking Nikki Bella. But
Jacqueline was the first women's champion, man. In the Attitude Era, she the first person that wore that belt. People don't remember that. Jacqueline was bad. Shout out to Molly Holly, man. Give her paying homage tonight. Molly Holly was nice too, man. Mighty Molly. Anybody know who Mighty Molly did her thing? Oh, domestic violence. Oh man. Yeah, I think I heard about that with the boyfriend. She's trying to get that old thing back with John Cena, man. We'll see if that work out. Yeah, I don't think John Cena can do it right now.
He definitely not about to spin back on that shit. Oh yeah, that's why her ass back. Because she put hands on her dude, and now she owe that man money. So she need that paycheck. That's the only reason she back. She don't mess with wrestling like that for real.
She not innocent.
Hell no. That's the only reason she back is for that paycheck, because she gotta pay that man.
All right. So outside of those names you name, you think any of them women is gonna come back tonight? Because
No,
somebody gonna come back tonight, and it's gonna be a big name that's coming back tonight.
they only sold 5,000 tickets. Kara, what's up? What's up? Kara be wilding out in some of them comment sections. She, I hope all is man. I hope all is well. Yeah. They only sold 5,000 tickets, bro. That shit ain't gonna be all that fantastic. You hyping that shit up.
Well, I will say this: they got some concepts that's in place that wasn't available when Vince McMahon was running the ship. Like now they got this battle royal with whoever wins is gonna receive a title shot. They got more gateways for people to receive a title shot these days than then. So I think that's a good idea to put on there.
You really think that somebody is gonna win the title that is not in 2025? Ain't no older generation or older era winning nothing. They just there to make the other people look good. So it don't really serve a purpose.
So you don't believe that a legend can win a title in 25?
They won't. Goldberg just lost. So what makes you think anyone else is?
That was Goldberg last match though.
You and I know these older wrestlers are only returning so that they can make the newer generation look credible because they're not convincing enough to the crowd. That's it. Nothing more or less. Trish ain't winning nothing. Lita's not winning nothing.
I wish Lita might come back tonight. I'm hoping she come back. But the main person I want to come back tonight is AJ Lee. I think everybody on their feet for her to come back. If she come back, I'm gonna pick her to win the battle royal if she do come back.
She's not coming back. I don't know why you keep saying that shit. She's not coming back.
You gotta have a little more faith, sir.
Why would AJ Lee come back to a place that only got 5,000 people?
That's beside the point. You looking at tickets. It was at one point. At one point, the women couldn't even get two or 3 minutes on TV. We used to watch that type shit, and they couldn't even get 2 minutes on camera. Now they got their own show. That's different. And this show, you get to bring people back from the past. You got the current, and then you can bring in newer women that's doing their thing too. And it's stacked. These women can go these days.
Let me tell you something.
So I'm looking forward to it, man. You might not be, but I'm looking forward to it. And I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm not gonna be shocked if Trish Stratus beat her tonight and get that belt because that's her career. That's what she does. I ain't gonna be shocked.
Trish Stratus ain't winning nothing. And if I'm a business owner, I'm looking at my return. I need a return on this. 5,000 tickets is not a return. I'm not recouping from that. That's just ticket sales. What about pay-per-view? You think people are really invested in this? From what I keep hearing, there was no promotion. Nobody was really selling it. Nobody has really been putting any type of real investment in this upcoming event. I can see why it's only 5,000 tickets sold. I haven't watched in so long, I can still tell you what matters is the build. The people have to be invested in these wrestlers. And I guarantee you, a lot of them women are not really entertaining. They probably suck on the mic. They probably only look good. Some of them can probably wrestle okay, but who do you hear people talk about the most? Jade, Naomi, Belair, Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton. You don't hear about nobody else.
I'm about to say, don't forget about Charlotte now.
And people hate her. So it's like, shit. So, I mean, like, what do you really have? And Robert Brown, yeah, I heard she said some racist stuff too. So what's that? EO? I heard EO just injured Liv Morgan. You ain't got Liv Morgan. Like they don't have. If this, all right, put it this way: if you had Trish, Lita, and I'm going back in time. I ain't talking about now because they too old. You're too old now. If you back in my time, if you had Lita, Trish, Jacqueline, Ivory, Kelly, Tori Wilson, China, what's her name? AJ, Beth Phoenix. If you had them names,
what about Melina?
Melina, if you just said her name too. Jamie Knowles.
Paige supposed to come back.
Paige, allegedly.
She's supposed to come back. But to go back to what you said about AJ Lee, she should come back because look at the many matches that she can have now. When AJ Lee was there, she didn't have nobody like that to go against. She fought the Bellas and maybe 2 or 3 other people. What's the girl named Caitlyn? She ain't had that many feuds. This got way more feuds. So she kept that belt. She kept that Divas belt for a long time because she ain't had nobody to really knock her off until she ran up against Paige till that shit started with Paige and all them coming.
Yeah, Nydia, you're right, bro. That's what I was thinking about. I'm gonna be completely honest here. The women's division now sucks. It's trash. I said it's trash. You personally only talk about 3 to 4 people. You don't talk about nobody else. That's how I know it's trash.
It's not trash because you got mid-card titles now that we used to talk about back in the day.
You don't talk about it.
But you couldn't even put them on TV because you had a skept ass roster.
But you don't talk about it.
You only had about 5, 6 women tops that probably got on TV back in the day.
You know what the difference is between these women now and then? All right, so
they get more TV time. They get more pay-per-views.
Maybe these women can wrestle, but their storylines are trash. They're trash, bro. Just get over it. It's trash. They don't have nothing compelling to make a nigga sit there and watch them. Yeah, you can wrestle. That's one part of it. You need to get my attention long enough to sit there and want to watch.
And then you talk about ticket sales. The Evolution pay-per-view supposed to be in the same arena that WitchCon was last night. So that's where the ticket sales kind of come in at, because they already booked Goldberg. They booked Goldberg for last night, and that supposed to help put butts in seats for them tonight. So I mean, this is the second time they did an all women's jump, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying, the men and women be under the same umbrella, bro. So we'll see how I do tonight, but I just hope people come back. That's what I want to see. If the right people come back, we're gonna have a ball.
I'm not a TNA person. I grew up on WWF. I stuck to WWF. I tried.
Federation kid. Federation.
Yeah, World Wrestling Federation. I tried to dib and dab in ECW and WCW. I never really got into anything else. I think it's because the way that everything was written back then, it always had my attention. So I never felt the need to watch anything else. And that's the honest truth. Am I saying TNA was horrible? Am I saying any of those other organizations were trash? Nah, I'm not saying that. I just never locked into it. Put it this way. It would have been extremely difficult for me to start watching something that I didn't know anything about. So if I just happened to start watching it now, I'd be lost. I wouldn't know none of them people. I'd be the one playing catch up. I don't have no history with them. All my history is with WWE, WWF. But I digress. The only reason I addressed any of this was because you had mentioned Saturday night main event or something like that. And I ain't gonna hold you. My Netflix is on 24 hours a day. I'll be into that more than I do anything else. After Daniel Bryan lost and he left, then Cesaro and all of them left, I was done.
Hey, we missing one person, man. You should have added on here too. They're not gonna be able to get her. Sasha Banks, man. She would have been nice on this card tonight.
Yeah, too bad. She just expect everybody to kiss her ass.
Man, how you gonna say that though?
And Robert Brown, let me ask you. You know, yeah, Mercedes Moné. Tell me, based on what you observed from the people, isn't it a general consensus that people got a big issue with her? They think her ass is spoiled. They think that everything has been handed to her. She's not really a big help over there at AEW. She's hogging all the spotlight. Her attitude stink. That's what the general consensus is. It ain't just me.
You say she wasn't a big help. Name me one person over there that had the cachet she had. It wasn't nobody on the AEW women's roster that had the star power as Sasha.
You mean aside from Jade before she left?
No, it wasn't the same though.
My point is, she ain't doing nothing to help that locker room. She just hog. She's a ball hog.
And Jade was. It's people that had to leave. I'm gonna say this: it's people that had to leave WWE. See, back in the day, people thought that WWE was the only way you can be a name. So everybody had that in them. I know I thought that. I thought nobody can really be number one unless they went over there. That was the whole outlook of Vince, and you're not gonna be known unless you come work for me and all of that. But look what happened with Cody Rhodes. WWE ain't never do that for Cody Rhodes till he left. He had to leave first to come back. You see what I'm saying? What's somebody else over there that's doing their thing? That WWE failed them. Toni Storm. She doing her thing now. WWE ain't give her a chance. They ain't make her a star like that. And Sasha was a star to me, but as far as the opportunities and all that, they wasn't really you say she was spoiled. They wasn't even giving Sasha Banks no opportunities because she ain't never had no WrestleMania win. She only won like probably one time. So that don't sound like opportunity. So everything that she's doing now, she's taking her fame from there and she's trying to build a roster of notable women over there, like how WWE doing. WWE got like lots of women that people kind of know about. AEW trying to get to that level.
All I heard was she gets her way over there and she couldn't get her way on WWE's roster.
Well, we could say the same for Cody then, because Cody left. If you want to put it like that, was he getting his way? Cody left. He went over there and started the company, I think. So he did it. And he still ended up going to WrestleMania and main event and all that once he came back.
Toni Storm got screwed. I agree with that one.
But like I said, with the gimmick piece, that's what anybody. Becky Lynch wasn't even a big star until she did what she did. She was getting undercutted and all that. She wasn't really blossoming until she did what she did to Charlotte and became the man. She wasn't getting her opportunities like that. So I think that gimmick got something to do with wrestler success. If they got success, it's because they in the right character. Toni Storm wasn't in the right. She wasn't in the right character to get her success.
Man. Hey, I ain't losing no sleep. I got to see all the classics that I wanted. I got to see all the main events that I wanted. I'm not without.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say you had people like Nicole Bass, if anybody remember her.
Nicole Bass was supposed to be like China.
Yeah, you remember. Okay, you had her. You had what's the big girl named Kamala? That's not her name, but you know what I'm talking about. Begin with a K.
Karma.
Yeah, Karma. You had her. She was promising. She got hurt and went somewhere in TNA.
Yeah, he said he watching it tonight.
Yeah, but you had a lot of promising women, man, back in the day. You had Terry Runnels. You had Sable. You know what I'm saying? It was some people back then. I don't know if you remember Alondra Blaze. She was nice, but out of all of them women that was back in the day that kind of paved the way a little bit because they did. This division is just got a deeper bag. You could probably say it was. You could probably make the argument and say the characters was better or whatever you want to say back then, or maybe just you could say the storyline because you say they don't got no story. You could say well the storyline was better. I probably give you that because who was writing the script back then in the Attitude Era? They was the best. But this division is a way deeper bag than what any division was.
It might be a deeper bag. It's still garbage, though. I don't care how many women they got. They would have been better off doing this back then. Put all them titles back then.
I'm gonna give you a few names of the day, and you tell me if they could have made it back then. Could Nia Jax, cause she would have did good in the Attitude Era, or she would have cracked.
She too injury prone. She would have got fired.
You said she would have got fired. What about Alexa Bliss? Do you think she could have kept up with any of them, Ivory or anybody?
She would have held the title at least once.
Against Jackie and all them?
I'll say it once.
All right, what about Miss Stratton? Because she on top right now.
She wouldn't have held the title.
So you don't think she was on the level of none of them?
I can't stand her voice at all. I don't even like her mic work either.
This is not about biasness. Do you think she could have been in the ring with some of them, like Molly and all them?
She wouldn't have won a title.
So she wouldn't have got no reigns.
She wouldn't have got no title.
What about Ronda Rousey? You think she could have did anything back then?
Ronda is a crybaby, man. She a crybaby. I put it this way: if she would have started off doing this shit then, she'd be a lot more polished. As far as what you just asked, I know Diddy got absolved of 3 charges. I know that one of the dudes, if you seen my my reaction video that I did, one of them dudes is calling Cassie out. He about to sue her. But that's as far as I've gone with that. But yeah, Ronda Rousey is a crybaby, man. She expected the world to be. She ain't no different than Sasha or Goldberg or Brock Lesnar to me, or The Rock.
Well, you gotta admit that she had popularity and she brought more eyes on the women. That's what I would give her. That's what she contributed to the evolution. She might come back tonight. That'll be dope. That's what she contributed to the women, man. It wasn't. She got the women that main event spot, bro, because she was from UFC, and they, by her trying to take wrestling serious, everybody wanted to see Ronda, so that's how that came about. Well, who else I'm gonna say? What about Liv Morgan, man? You think she would have got dogged out?
Liv Morgan would have fit right in. Her and Alexa, they would have been straight for a little minute. Yeah, definitely. To me, of course.
And what about the big 4? That's the big 4 should already be stamped. Bailey, Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha would have definitely flourished against everybody. They would have flourished, bro.
You say who?
The big four. The four horsewomen?
Becky before the gimmick? No, she wasn't enough. Sasha cries too much. Charlotte would have been all right. I put it to you this way: she would have benefited more from the Ric Flair thing than now.
If she used his name going against the women there.
Yeah, now not so much.
Well, she believes that she made two hard statements. Charlotte said that she believes it's going to be a fatal four-way one day with the four horsewomen. They're going to get together, and then she came out and said that Alexa Bliss always been the fifth horsewoman. So she gave Alexa Bliss her props.
The reason why I say Liv Morgan would have did okay is because I like her gimmick, her character. When you don't have a gimmick, you fade to the black. Are you just all right? Well, let me ask y'all this question. I don't even know how we got here, but are you a fan of wrestling or are you a fan of entertainment? Which one do you care more for?
I mean, I've been watching it so long. I really like both. I like wrestling. We watching wrestling, so I like to see if somebody know how to wrestle. But it is an entertainment business. Like you gotta have that character because that's what we watch too. See, that character is what gets you over with the fans and stuff like that. You get fans cheering and shit for you. Character. That in ring is okay. It's nice, but that gimmick is what sells tickets and put shit on T-shirts and all that. If you don't have a good gimmick, you can be one of the best wrestlers, and you still won't make that climb without that gimmick. So I think in the wrestling business, if you study the history, the gimmick is what gets you to the next level, even if you know a few moves or not.
So you still ain't really give me a direct answer. You basically telling me you want it all. But
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, if I had a choice, what I want to watch and all that, I mean, I would go with the I would go with the wrestling, with the competition. If I had to make the choice, because that's we watching wrestling, so you really want to see. I watch Bret Hart and shit like that, so I really want to see where somebody really heading there. You know what I'm saying? And I watched some matches with Bret. Bret used to line people up, and I mean it helped. He a perfect example because it kind of helped that he had the Bret Hart gimmick, but if you watched him, he was more into that wrestling shit. He didn't really give a fuck about all that hitman persona. When he got up in there, he was all about business.
yeah, for me, I need first, Rob, You talking about that rap song where he used the N-word? Yeah, I heard about it. I don't know too much further. Like I said, I don't even.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu go hard, man. I think he's gonna be a big name. That dude is the future. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Jacob Fatu go hard. He the Tonga kid, the Tonga kid's son. That's his father, the Tonga kid. So yeah, it's gonna be the bloodline story is gonna be nice going forward. You got more people from the family coming.
Wrestling, I would rather the wrestling. No, the entertainment. I would rather the entertainment part. There's people who don't wrestle the best, but you're sold on the match because of the storyline. The storyline can make the wrestling match look better than what it actually is. And Raw, they gonna let that slide because he's a Roman Reigns family member. They get away with all type of shit. They don't hold them.
No Roman Reigns slander.
They don't hold. He
the head of the table for a reason. And him right here, I'm gonna say out of all his family, that dude right there that he named, Jacob Fatu, he don't need all that help and all that bias and shit you saying. This dude right here, he don't need no help. He all gas, no brakes. Like this dude is trying to earn his way to the top. It ain't no cheating. It ain't no gang or nothing like that. I believe he can go out there and get it done on his own by himself, like Roman Reigns used to do. I think he the next one. That match he had with Braun Strowman was special.
Ain't that the same thing you said about the Bama who took over the bloodline? I don't know his name. Didn't you say that about him?
Nah, he ain't never really take over. He was with this dude was with Solo. Solo was the younger brother of the Uso.
Yeah. Didn't you say he was supposed to be the one next up? You used to say that shit all the time.
Yeah, that's who Roman was gonna pass it to.
But he trash. Huh? He trash. His gimmick is trash. He don't even fit the.
Well, he was it until I saw this dude. This dude, they cousin. He on another level, bro. Like he don't. He was a tag team, but this dude right here, he's on another level as far as like a top echelon in the company. Like his move sets and all that is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? He's nice. I think he's better than Solo.
If you say so.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised one day that he can main event a WrestleMania if nothing don't happen. He can do it one day.
Let me know how that work out. I ain't gonna be tapped into that crap. But yeah, man, justice for Marcellus Williams, bro.
Oh yeah.
For real. I know we veered off for a minute, which is fine, but still at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree, man. It just goes to show you that the struggle is real, and even when you're going against somebody that's supposed to, help you, you're looking for help with these people, and the struggle is real. I feel like they all just ganged up on him, in that system and made sure he served the time out. I don't think any help that he was trying to get, like we talked about, those people in there probably gated that help and made sure that he didn't receive the benefits that he should have got.
So, long story short, Marcellus Williams was a African American male who got wrongfully sentenced and executed for the murder of a white woman, a former photographer and news reporter. She died from multiple stab wounds. When they found her, the knife was still in her neck. They automatically assumed that he was the target. They arrested him, they tried him, they sentenced him. The people that tried to fight for him did everything they could. The government said, nope, I don't care about your evidence. This is the guy. He's gone. That's who we selected. And that's what happened. Even though everything proved his innocence, they still said, nah, he gotta be the one. He died at the age of 58. He spent 24 years in prison.
And now that you showed that video, that he do look familiar. I think I did see that before you brought this up. So that he does look familiar. It's a terrible thing. All of them know each other. When I'm saying like in the system, all of them kind of know each other. They probably hang at each other's houses and all that. But this kind of remind me of the somewhat of the Emmett Till thing, man. You know what I'm saying? How that went. I mean, this remind me of some Emmett Till, man, and they ain't let that go. He was only 14, 15 years old. Yeah, they ain't let that go, man. They went and got him, and should have been an open and close case. Man, that stuff was drawn out longer than it's supposed to. So people keep screaming justice this, justice that. But, the justice really matter because these days, people taking justice in their own hands, like what the junk we did last night and Hinton, taking out that cop, and you can bring up Carmelo with Austin, and I mean it's an outrage. People don't feel like they're getting their fair shake, and this story right here proves that don't happen. People don't get their fair shake. Black people don't get a fair shake, man, in the system. And it's not right. So that's what I'm saying. When is it appropriate, or why is the goalpost always getting moved? Depending on what the situation is. That's wrong. It's supposed to be standing for a right or wrong thing, but hey, this stuff don't be for right or wrong. It's about for who they want, who they like. That's what it's about. It's all about who they favor, and that's who normally wins.
At Robert Brown, I said something similar. Either the killer is still out there, or they already lived their life and grew old and passed on. Because my whole thing was she was a reporter. Reporters typically have information that most people don't. So the way that she lost her life was like either she was dealing with somebody in a relationship that she shouldn't have been, or she had information that she shouldn't have had, and they had to shut her up. That's just my opinion, though. But they definitely covered it up.
See, swept under the rug. And now that she was a reporter, so that means they really, most likely, they probably know who that killer really is, since it was a team effort to get this man convicted that long. So yeah, they probably know who the killer really was, and whoever they was that did that to her neck. They decided they needed to protect that person. They didn't want to take that person into custody. So that's what the guy come in, the man come into play, and now we got to put it on him.
Sad and unfortunate. My condolences to his family. I can't imagine being in that space. Justice just wasn't served. But we did bring some attention to it. Hopefully, just miraculously, somehow, some way, somebody comes across this and decides that they want to revisit this. That would be dope. He's not forgotten. You didn't die in vain, sir. There are still people out here that care about right and wrong. Any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say, when it comes to this situation right here, we gotta be mindful, man, because I think right now in this era, in this time that we're living in now, especially about the situation that happened at McDonald's last night, we were talking about with the young chick and the manager. We gotta be mindful, man. These laws and stuff that's coming into place with our president can cause people's livelihood to be affected, and people not stable in their mind, you know. And the mind is a terrible thing to waste, good people. It's a lot of crash outs out here. You gotta make sure that we ain't the ones that they crash into. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we need to be on our P's and Q's and have our antennas up, man, for these changes that's coming our way, man, and just try to move accordingly the best way we can out here in society, man, because especially in the workplace, because after what happened, you know, people's eyes are a little more aware of what could happen. So just be mindful.
Definitely. Shout out to Kara. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. I fixed my link in my Twitter account. If anybody wants to pull through and support the channel, it's optional. I thank y'all for just hanging out with us, spending time here. Tomorrow, we're back at it this week. We got a star-studded cast. My brother here is returning. I got Rob coming up. I got Sydney pulling back up.
And at the table, baby.
Yeah, we about to get it in. We definitely about to get it in tomorrow. Make sure y'all locked in. Hit your bell notifications so you don't miss the stream. I hope you guys have a blessed week. Drive safe. And cherish your life, man.
Yep. Evolution tonight. CEO. The boss.